In the name of God, peace and blessings be upon the messenger of God. O Allah, send blessings and peace upon our Master Muhammad, upon his family and companions. Peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings. God willing, we will make pasta with red sauce together today, and God willing, I will make it in a very beautiful way. It will be, God willing, not only in its sauce but also beautiful. At the same time, it will be fluffy and nice. And God willing, I personally will rely on this method. I will no longer make pasta with sauce except this way because it is really very beautiful. I hope you will like it. First, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, I put the pot on the fire to heat it and add some oil. Of course, the amount of oil depends on what you want. You can increase or decrease it as you like. I also add a piece of ghee, and I can use any type of ghee, of course. I can also use butter. After the oil and ghee are well heated, I add a medium-sized onion, cut into small squares or cubes, and saute it a bit. I don't want to brown it. I just want it to turn a golden yellow color. After it has yellowed a bit, I start adding 2 cloves of garlic, which can be minced or cut as you like, and I saute them with the onion until the garlic's aroma comes out and the onion browns a little. After the onion has browned, I cut a red pepper and a green pepper and stir them in as well, cutting them into small cubes. Then I add salt and spices, of course. I add black pepper and paprika. I put a teaspoon of paprika, dried coriander powder, and cumin, and I stir them a bit to roast them together. I will also add meat spices, but after I finish because I forgot to add them. Here I add about half a kilo of tomatoes that I blended in the blender, and I will add a little bit of meat spices, half a teaspoon, and I will adjust the salt, of course. The spices and these things depend on your preference as you like. After that, I add about 2 tablespoons of this sauce, which is homemade, and I keep it in the freezer. I will stir them a bit and let them simmer together, allowing the water to reduce and dry out a bit. And I adjust the salt. After I adjusted the salt, I add half a teaspoon of meat spices. I forgot to mention it at the beginning, or I forgot to add it at first, as I said. I give them a stir like this, and then I will cover them and leave them until they simmer. I will slightly lift the lid like this too. You race with me quickly. After that, I transferred it to the other eye and added water to boil the pasta. I put salt in it. About 1.5 tablespoons of salt because I have half a kilo of pasta. I add a little oil so the pasta doesn't stick together. I cover it and leave it until it boils. After the water boils, I will add the pasta in the name of God. Then I just give it one stir. I will leave it until it is cooked, but I don't boil it completely. I leave it a little undercooked. I mean, it should be half cooked or 3/4 cooked. Here, I show you that it is still. When I take one like this, I find it a little raw from the inside. That's it. I will turn it off now and drain it. After that, I go back to the sauce. It's completely thickened now. I then add a small part, about half a cup or 3/4 cup of the pasta cooking water. We can also use broth if we have it. And if we don't want either, we can just add water. Or we can also keep the sauce from thickening completely, leaving a bit of sauce so it stays somewhat soft and not too dry. After that, I added the pasta and mixed it. I leave it until it cooks. It doesn't take a long time. It just depends on the type of pasta you have, how much you cooked it, and how much water you added. It took about 5 minutes for me. Then I turn it off and serve it right away. It has a wonderful sauce and smells great, and it tastes good while being fluffy, not sticky or mushy at all. It's really a beautiful method, and as I told you, I will definitely make it again. After that, I sprinkle some parsley on top for decoration and serve it. Enjoy your meal. Of course, pasta is one of those wonderful things that many people love. They prefer it, and it goes well with any food. Most dishes can be served with pasta. We can make pasta with chicken, pasta with meat, or serve it alongside eggs and potatoes, and other dry dishes, which will also be great. We can serve it with beans, kofta, and the same recipe I made today can also include chicken, pieces that we fry in oil, then add the onions and continue in the same way. It will be with chicken. We can also use meat or even liver. There are many options we can use to make pasta this way. I hope you try it and like it, God willing. Peace be upon you, and God's mercy and blessings.